back to the channel Russ Vets on Russ, and my name is Russ. We're trying something. Hey, we're doing something new right here. This is the very first episode of Hair and Now. We're airing now. You know, like an heiress, you're heir to the throne. Hair and Now with me and my dad. So we got it's me. Y'all already know me. My name is Russ. Dad, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Ricky Redden. I'm Russ' dad, and welcome to the first episode of Air and Now. So we gonna get started with this here. We're gonna dive into a whole variety of things, conversate on what's going on in the past and what's going on now. And so I'm gonna turn it back over to Russ so we could get started with it. Let's go.
But I say first, we got to introduce everybody to ourselves. Anybody that's watching the channel. So anybody that know me, been watching the channel, y'all already know that I do sports betting content, but creativity, making content, that is my passion. So it's like when I found out that this is something I could actually do and get paid for, I dived deep into it. I went down the rabbit hole, and I've been making sports betting content, but I also try to motivate people too, because life is not easy, especially when you don't enjoy what you do for a living. And you supposed, like, we all supposed to have a job. In the world that we live in, we all need money. You got to pay for stuff, and you supposed to work. But working jobs that I don't enjoy has created like a form of depression for me, and I create to escape. I call it, yeah, that's my catchphrase. I create to escape, not because, like, you can have the family that you want, you can have the family. You can love the family that you come from. You can love the family that you created yourself. But still, as a man going out and having to work for somebody, that kind of like it just made me feel bad. So I started doing this content to help with that, because this is something I actually enjoy doing. And then, just me venting frustrations, talking with my dad, him telling me stories about him growing up, him coming up working, that kind of, he came up with the idea, we need to start a podcast. And then my creative juices started flowing. And here we are, episode 1. So, Dad, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, again, my name is Ricky Redden. Like my son Russ just said, you know, uh, Russ Russ got me trying to think outside the box, trying to understand the younger generation, trying to come up to speed the way the younger generation think and the way my generation think. And just to build a gap between us so I could better understand my son and help him navigate through life, the best I can as a father. Because as a father, we always want to see our sons succeed, and we want to be that motivating factor in their life to help guide them, through the bumpy roads that they may face along the way. So, listen at Russ, you know, the journey that he's on right now, you know, it's my job to, to keep him focused and guide him on the right path and let him and to show him that, things can happen and, things don't just happen overnight. And, we got to work towards that, to get to where, he want to go and where I want to go at this stage in my life. And also, he could bring me up to speed on the way his generation think, and I bring him up to speed on the way I think my generation. The way we live our lives.
I like that. So one of the ideas I had for a name is Bridging the Gap, just because, again, like, I love creativity, I love music, and Nas got a song with his dad. His dad, I think his name Olu Daro. I could be wrong about the name, but his dad was a musician too. And when they did a song together, it was called Bridging the Gap. So I thought about that. But it's a good thing that you do bring up, like, bridging the gap and learning from each other, because I feel like everybody has their own different perspective, and we can take pieces from, you we bouncing ideas off of each other and learning from that. I feel like I'm a watcher. Like, I sit back and I watch people. I sit back and I observe. And like I have watched you my whole life, and I've seen the things that you have done. I've taken pieces that I like for myself and incorporated it into putting my own little seasoning on it. So I feel like I have learned a lot from you, and like I appreciate you coming up with this idea because even though I am creative, I probably never would have thought of this. So like I'm glad to be doing this with you. So I definitely appreciate you for coming up with the idea, helping me basically like you said, keeping me focused because my ideas, my creativity is really what keeps me going because that is something, it's just like this. If I'm going to do something every day for a living, I would rather do something that I enjoy. So, like me just sitting on here having a conversation with you, this is something that is just like, it's something that I enjoy and it might help other people as well because I know if I'm going through it, there's other people going through it. And at least maybe you hear a different perspective, a different story, or somebody that hates something as much as you do, but you see them still driving and still pushing forward. So it's kind of like when I first started Start You. That was the whole motivation behind it back in 2017. The Start You movement was follow your dreams, pursue your goals, pursue your dreams. Don't give up because it's hard. So that was the main focus behind like the Start You movement and creating in general. I just want to motivate people and do something that I enjoy doing because yeah, like I say, money is important because we got bills and things, but overall happiness is more important than the money because I can be a millionaire and if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, it's still like I'm broke. So that's I guess that's my whole goal and behind what we're doing.
Yeah, money moves the world, and you have to have you have to have you have to have peace with yourself, and a lot of time we don't have that peace because we chasing money, even though we need money to live our lives daily, and just living, and over time you learn that things will come over time. But I guess in my generation, I had to learn that it take times. Things ain't gonna happen instantly. With this new generation, with all the technology out here now, it be embedded in the younger generation mind that things need to happen right now. If it don't happen now, I can't wait for it. But I think as time go on and the longer, the younger generation live, they'll understand our mindset. And I understand their mindset also because I see how technology have changed the world. And it have changed the world where, um, one viral video, a person could be rich overnight. So I understand my son concept, but I'm just trying to get Russ to see that you got to do multiple things, even though it's things that you don't want to do. You have to do it in order to survive. And my way of thinking is that as time go on, you'll start seeing the fruits of your labor. It's gonna always be bumpy roads, and things ain't gonna always go according to plan. And I had to learn that myself in life because I have did everything the right way, and then the next day I could have a setback. Something could happen, and that's when that's when I have to realize that you know as long as I stay focused, I'm gonna have a setback for my setup for bigger and better things. And that's what I want you to realize. You're gonna have rough times, and you're gonna have to realize that rough times ain't gonna last always.
I agree with like the rough time not gonna last always, but the one thing that I feel like we do, and it's a disconnect between us, is like there's always like again with technology, there's a fast forward button. There's always gonna be something that you can think forward thinking. I feel like that's one of the strong suits that I have just from being somebody that's observant. Like watching you, I've seen you. I tell people this all the time too. I've seen you. You was a brick maker. You literally made bricks. I can
Yeah,
remember.
multiple jobs,
Yeah, I
multiple
know. I
jobs.
know. But I'm just like we going. I'm going back to like as a child, like one of my earliest memories of seeing you working. I seen you. You took me into the factory. I had the hard hat. I remember the borrowed bricks hat. I kind of remember the colors. I think it was like yellow and maybe green. I know yellow was in it.
That- That's it, yellow
So,
and green.
so yeah, like that
Yellow and
type of
green.
stuff. That stuff like is ingrained into me. So like I seen you work, and I feel like I emulated you. And it was a point in time that like I used to brag about working 16 hours a day. I used to, and I used to brag about working 16 hours. I used to brag about having multiple jobs because that's what I seen you do. That and I get it. That from your generation, that's what they was taught. You work, you get you a good ass job with good benefits, and that's it. But what I have learned, and like just from watching y'all and just coming up with like my own different thought process is like, yeah, it's good to have a good job, but when you're not happy, when you're not happy going to those jobs, when you're not happy with the money that you're making for those jobs, and you're trying to juggle and balance, not 6'7", not 6'7", but yeah, when you see you don't get that reference.
Yeah, 6 7. You got to explain that to me. See that all like this technology. I've been learning it over time. Us old head, we stuck in our old ways. So it's whatever is convenient and natural, we go with it. But all this technology stuff, we don't want to take the time to learn. Well, I said I don't want to take the time to learn it, but I am learning it. And always whenever I have something, instead of me taking the time to read it, what I do, I pick up the phone and call you, Smooch or Rudy, and hey, how do this supposed to work? Such and such. I let y'all deal with the technology and everything, but as time go on, I see that I need to learn that
Me
because
too.
the
It
way
is
this world is going, it is all gonna be technology.
that's
And
what
go
changed. That's what changed my whole mindset. Once I realized, like again, your generation was taught that you work hard and you retire, but like in deep down inside in me, I just knew that wasn't the way to go. Just from watching y'all, just from seeing like not as a child, not really understanding the setbacks, but understanding like, oh, okay, this might be a little bit different. Like, okay, well, I ain't getting this for Christmas, or something happens where it's like I can see the setback, but I don't fully understand it. But now, as an adult, as somebody with my own family, I can look at the setbacks and I can see understanding. And that's when I realized that like before I was working the 16 hours and I was chasing the money. But when I finally had that financial awakening where it was like, you know what? You don't have to chase the money. That's when my mindset became, okay, well, cool. I can never function in a job system again because I realized how much time they're taking away from me, how much time they're taking away from like me being with my family. And when the money don't add up, that changed the game. Like me, like I said, I worked those doubles, worked those 16-hour shifts. It wasn't until I actually started touching real money in a quick way that I learned the power of money. What? So, hey, if you're new to the channel, I always tell this story too. I used to drive over the road. The only time that I've ever been financially successful, I worked. I did something called drive away, but I didn't do it the right way. Legally, you got your CDL. You're only supposed to drive 11 hours legally. But me, again, I got a problem with somebody controlling my time. I got a problem controlling my time. So once I found out how to cheat the logbook, it was no longer I'm going to follow this rule because now instead of making 1,200 in a week, I was making 1,200 in a day and a half. Now with my work ethic and my attitude, it's like, let's go, let's go. I'm gonna grind myself and get it because I had a certain number in my head that it was like, cool, I bust my ass, I did the hard work, but now I can show you the fruits of my labor. Now I got some money in my pocket. Now I have the free time. So before with me, it was like I didn't know what to say to anybody. I had these ideas in my head, but I never knew how to verbalize it and show people proof that what I was saying could work or why I think the way I do. But now the way social media is with technology, it's like I can point to you and show you, like, look, I have made more money sitting on my behind than I have busting my ass on somebody's clock. So I don't think it should happen overnight because like the grind for me to get to where I'm at now didn't happen overnight. But my financial education happened overnight because I used to make as a juvenile detention officer, working 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, hating every moment of those 2 weeks. I used to make $843. Then I went to making $843 in a day and a half. Then I went from making 1,200 in a day and a half. So to come back and be in a spot where it's like I'm already not happy going to work every day, what I'm doing, and not having the financial fruits of my labor, knowing that it could be better, especially with social media, because all of it is programming. So how we talk about technology, we could be talking about. It was one time I was talking about Alka-Seltzer because I was sick. Next thing I know, I'm scrolling down Facebook. I see so many different Alka-Seltzer ads. So for me, when I talk about social media, everybody could blow up, and everybody could blow up if everybody helped and chipped in. And we talked about it just like you talk about a Tyler Perry movie, just like you talk about a negative situation like Stephon Diggs having all these baby mamas, him and Cardi B. If we put that same energy towards each other, like I could have blew up overnight a long time ago if we had the right people pushing to break the algorithm. And that's where YouTube and every other social media site knows we will never work together. But the thing is, most people give up when they don't get views. If you look at this YouTube channel, my channel is like a variety show. I have been a car salesman. I do sports betting content. I do comedy. I do songs because I like doing it, and that's how I can catch people's attention.
Yeah, I love your creative side. And I know you very smart and it's a lot of things that you could do. And you just got to be patient. I know one day that breakthrough gonna come through. And we're gonna touch on when you got your CDL. We're gonna go back to that because that's a story that we need to talk about on here also. But to go I'm listening to you and everything that you are telling me. I understand all of that because I had those same ambitions in me when I was your age. But then time was I wasn't making that type of money. That's why I was working those type of hours. You know, I would work at the brick company, then I would go and bust tables at night, wash dishes at night. You know, time was I wouldn't say time was real hard, but time was hard because I was a young person navigating my way through life. You know, I wasn't trained on how to be a man, a real man. And I don't take nothing away from the way I was raised because I was raised by my mother and
Ah,
my mother had four sons. You know, it was four of us, and I watched my mom work in the sewing factory. I watched my mom take care of all four of us, and so I was raised by women, but I had men's in my life. You know, my father didn't play a major role in my life, but I had my uncles and some of my older cousins that played a role in my life, and I seen the way you know. People work to get things that they wanted in life, and that was the way I that was the way I knew life until I got out on my own. And I think my mom did the best thing for me when she when I graduated high school. You know, I was gonna quit school, but she made me stay in school and finish school. So, but when I finished school, she wanted. I hadn't decided exactly what I wanted to do, and she told me, I could stay there, but I didn't have no rights in the house. I still had to be in the house at 12 o'clock. And then, I had to pay a portion of the bill, everything except grocery. You know, she was gonna feed me, but I had to pay a portion what I thought was a lot, and it wasn't nothing. She was just teaching me responsibility. So that helped me. make the decision to get out on my own. And when I did that, I finally left her house and moved to Atlanta, living on my own. Reality set in to where, if I don't go to work and buy groceries and stuff, put food in the refrigerator, I ain't gonna have nothing. So I had to learn that the hard way by living life. And that taught me that I had to get out and go to work. And that's why I started working multiple jobs until I got the career that I wanted. Well, I'm making decent money, but I still was actually working several jobs because I wanted more in life. And that's what I've been trying to explain to you how, it's gonna take time. Even if you make it big overnight, it's still a process that you're gonna have to go to. And it's just like buying a house or moving into your first apartment. Just think about it. When I moved into my first place, I didn't. The only thing I had was what I walked in with. I didn't have anything, and it's a process over time. You gonna accumulate things, and like now, just going through that process, done accumulated a lot of things. Don't have room for the things that I have. I need a bigger space, but it took time to get that, and that's what I want you to understand and come to terms with.
So let me
You
ask you
know,
this: with that process, the process of doing stuff and getting to that level that you want to be at. So for me, my frustration comes from like, so I've been, like I say, I've been following your footsteps, working multiple jobs, hustling, busting my ass, and I've been doing it for 22 years. At what point, like, how do you deal with the frustrations of it not going the way that you wanted to go? Because I think that's the hardest part for me, and I didn't experience the so the level that I'm at now, I didn't experience this type of level of depression, hatred, and anger until I actually touched money. So it was like me being knowledgeable of how to get money in an easier way. I'm gonna say easier way, not fast, not trying to get anything fast, but like just knowing that there's could be a easier way. Not saying that I don't want to work, but let's just say me working and being in control, not being controlled, because that's my main problem. These jobs, they control you, your time. They tell you how much they gonna pay you, and you could be good and do everything that you're supposed to do. But then they decide, okay, well, cool, that's you worth a 50 cent raise. So in my head, it's just always like, I don't want to be controlled. And if I am going to be controlled, you got to pay me the top money possible to say that at least I have
yeah,
that reward. So that's like that is my only problem. Like I don't have anything against working. I have a problem against the system that designed for the work. It's like you work here, we start you off here, and you work year after year, and this is only what we're gonna pay you. So my thing is like I got to think outside the box and do something different because I seen the results that it got in you, what you was taught. So I gotta take your same hustle. I gotta take your same mindset for like working hard and working multiple jobs, but I gotta flip that to what the technology and the new ways of it. So with this sports betting channel, I got 4 different companies that I promote for. Why? Because I need multiple. I want your money, I want your money, I want your money, and I want your money. I use
yeah,
multiple.
and that's a good concept to have. And to answer your question on that, when I go to a job, just say for instance, I'm taking a warehouse job. I know exactly how much money that I am going to be making the week if I get paid weekly or bi-weekly. My mindset why I have that job is I'm not gonna stay here. This is just a temporary thing to help me navigate my way onto where I want to go. And so I'm gonna make this little money, what I'm making here, but my mind is pushing me to go further than where I'm at because my end goal is to create financial my own financial stream. without working for someone. But even though you always gonna be working for someone, even if you promote your business, you are providing your business for someone that's paying you for your service.
Right, right.
And that's the way I look at it. I'm gonna continue to work. I work for you, and then soon I'm making the money I need to take care of my everyday living expenses while why when I'm not working for you, I'm working for myself, trying to create ways so I could generate other forms of income. And as life been going on, I've been learning from you and Ricky. You and Ricky have taught me a lot about how to navigate throughout life to create and generate multiple streams of income, just like the stock market. I didn't know anything about the stock market. You and Ricky taught me that. I thought y'all was crazy until I seen the concept. Just like how I'm thinking that you crazy the way you thinking, that's the same way you was looking at me, the way I was thinking about the stock market. It's just we got to educate each other and help each other grow. Y'all taught me that. You and Ricky taught me about not working for someone. I need to work for myself. That's how you've been doing your whole life. That's why I was saying we're gonna have to come back to that CDL, when the truck moving. Yeah, I hadn't really just been out there on my own working for myself until you and Ricky pushed me out there to do it for myself. And that was an experience to keep me moving forward. I have a passion for certain things, and I make that passion my livelihood. If
I'm
you
glad you
if you
said
get
like
what I'm saying.
that's it. That's where I'm trying to get to that level where it's like I'm getting paid for something that I like doing. It's the everyday of going through it. I guess trying to enjoy the journey when you don't enjoy the journey. Because being on
Right.
something
Yeah, you're not gonna enjoy it until you get to the level to where you want to be, and that's called being comfortable. And just like what I just said, I'm gonna go and do a job, even though I don't want to go and do that job. While I'm doing that job, I'm focusing on how I'm gonna make myself better, how I'm gonna build my foundation, so I don't have to come back and do this job. I'm doing the job because I know I need income, and I'm just doing it so that I can have that to continue to build my own empire. And I know one day it's gonna happen. It just uh, it's just timing. That's how I feel. It's timing, perfect timing.
I think now I guess I am at that part of the journey where it's like, okay, cool. I understand why every job that I paid it has created something into me that has made what I want to do so much
It's gonna
better.
motivate you. It's
Yep,
gonna
like
motivate you.
everything that I paid it, if like the hatred for being on somebody's clock made me drive the way I drove those illegal hours that I did. It made me drive that because I knew that it was like I don't want to do that no more. So like the hatred that I feel now is like, okay, cool. I gotta turn up the hustle and I gotta make this work. Because yeah, how much longer can I keep saying that like I hate doing something? At least I always have a plan. I always come up with something. And if you want to get into that
Right.
CDL thing, we can get into it now.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Once I got my CDL, you and Ricky follow suit, followed in my footsteps. Both of y'all went out and got y'all CDL and started driving, And so I'm driving. I was driving for my father-in-law at the time, and you and Ricky got y'all CDL and got out there in that driveway game and started telling me about it.
That
And
driveway.
I had when I got my CDL, you learn things over time while you driving, and I learned how to navigate through the logbook, and that's why it's funny, how you navigate through that logbook. The more you rolling, the more money you can make, and so I learned that, and That was a trait that I taught you, even when it went to the electronic law. It wasn't a problem.
And I tell people all the time, say, hey, one of the best things I had to like my first time taking a 10-hour break. So like me, I never wanted to get my CDL. I never wanted to drive trucks. I never wanted to drive over the road. So again, I guess like people again, they might call me stubborn, but it's just like when I know something, it's just like, yeah, I can't keep jumping to something that I don't want to do. So but again, life forces your hand sometimes. So I finally got my CDL. I got tired of being a juvenile detention officer. So I got my CDL. But I still knew that I didn't want to drive the 18 wheelers over the road. It was just something about it I didn't want to do. So finally, my brothers, Ricky and Andrew, they put me on drive away. But they told me I would have the freedom to do what I want to do, pick the loads I want to pick. So I got into it. My very first load, they made me go to New York. They was like, nah, we're not letting you do what you want to do. You want to do a long California load. Nah, you're not doing that. So I'm sitting in New York, cold, crying because I don't know what I'm doing. I ain't never been on the road before. I don't know nothing about no law book. I don't know none of this stuff. So I ended up doing like 3 or 4 trips, following the rules. I remember the last time I did a 10-hour break before I ended up calling you Benton, I was in Kansas and I'm sitting there mad. I'm on a school bus. I'm walking back and forth in this casino, getting the free drinks and using the bathroom. I looked so sad that this man thought that I had lost my money. So I called my dad. He broke down the science on how to manipulate that law book, and that light turned. That light turned on. That it was like, because again, I'm money motivated. Like if I can get it in a day and a half, I want it in a day and a half. Why wait? Because if I can get it in a day and a half, that means I can spend the rest of the time doing whatever chilling, doing what I want to do. So
Right,
when
right.
she taught me how to manipulate that law book, I went on a 4-year run where I ain't never touched a 10-hour break. I'm talking about I was driving 20 hours a day. I was sleeping in any other vehicles that I drove. If I drove a school bus, I slept in it. A garbage truck, I slept in it. I got smart and I started doing RVs so I can have a bed. But it goes back to how you were saying, like some of the stuff that I say, it may seem like I'm crazy, but it's like I know what I want. So for me telling you how I was talking to those dispatchers, you couldn't believe it. And every time you was like, they gonna fire your ass. And I just kept thinking to myself, but like they can't because like I've created a situation where I'm in control. They need me. And most jobs, they create a situation where you need them. So I remember it was one day I was like, you know what? I'm tired of him saying that. So let me show him what I'm out here doing. So I called you on and I was like, look, I'm gonna put you on 3-way, but don't say nothing. And I called up my dispatcher and I was just telling him, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. You got this? Okay, cool, I'll do that. And then I come back and say, you know, I told you I was gonna do that. I don't want to do that no more. What else you got? And like that's the type of power that it was like I never had that before. And I was like, this is what I like because now I'm in control. I work for you, but I don't work for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And you could work your way back to that situation to where you will be in that be where you working for yourself and you ain't working for no one else. You working on your terms. But until you get there, it's just things that you have to do to get back to where you want to be. They level it out. And you have all the tools to do it. You just got to be patient.
That's the hard part. That's the hard part when I know that it's out there. When I know that it's out.
Yeah, I
And that
know.
goes back to the part of it's like it's easier to be patient when you enjoying the journey. It's like it's easier to be patient. This is another thing I came up with. I would rather work by choice than work by force. Because if I'm going to work and all I'm doing is just paying my bills, and that's the only thing that I can say that I've accomplished out of those hours, that is working by force. So yeah, when I was what I was doing on the road was work, and it was extremely hard work. But at the time, I didn't think of it as work because it wasn't as the money. Again, it goes back to the money. The reward for my hard work, I seen the fruits of my labor.
Yeah, you was enjoying what you was doing. And
I'm
so
a, no,
that's
no,
why
no, no,
you
no, no. It never was enjoyment. It was the fruits of the labor. It was the fact that I can
it,
tell somebody
it,
that I'm not doing this and then go make some more money somewhere else. That was
I
the that was it. It was never
yeah.
like what is there to enjoy about driving 20 hours? What is there to enjoy about
No,
sleep?
no, no, you see, you don't let me finish.
Go
See,
ahead.
that what's wrong with y'all. I said you was enjoying the fruits of your labor because you was doing it on your terms.
Right. Yeah.
That's why you was enjoying it. Even though you know you was breaking the little rules to do the things that you need to do, but that was the way that you navigated your way to doing things the way you wanted to do it. And you could always get back to there. You know, it just you just gonna have to put yourself in the situation to where you could do things like that. And that's being patient, you know, and timing. Like we gonna be overnight sensation in a little while, and then you know, like you've been trying to tell me, hey, we could do this, we could do that. Hey, I want to see it. I
Because
want to see it because I want to sit down and chill.
I definitely believe it because just from the little time that I've been building up this channel, just from doing what I've been doing on my end, I know that it's out there. That's why again I just be like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
Again, me doing it by myself, I made it to a certain level, but it does get physically and mentally exhausting again when you're not enjoying the journey. So it's like there's got to be a cheat code. There's a cheat code. Maybe I play too many video games, but there's a cheat code to everything. You taught me the cheat code to driving. Once I knew that I couldn't do driving without the cheat code. Once I had the cheat code, but having those cheat codes come with an extra stress of you always ducking and dodging, looking over your shoulder. So
You got to
what?
be correct at all times.
Yeah, so yeah, once I found like once I didn't think about this while I was doing it, but once I finally stopped driving, that's when I realized how mentally taxing what I was doing had on me because I was missing home. I'm like I'm an outlaw every time every time I leave the house, I'm an outlaw. Like I'm a wanted man because I know I'm not going to ever follow the rules. So just constantly having to keep up with that yeah, that was because a lot of people ask me now, like, Russ, why won't you go back in trucking? Like, when you're doing something illegal, you got to understand that there's always a wave, and then like you're not gonna be able to ride that wave forever. And I know that like mentally, I can't be out there doing it the right way. So it was like once stuff started to happen, I was like, yeah, these are signs that I gotta step back because I'm not gonna be able to safely do it because that's the key thing. Now, yeah, I did something illegal, but I ain't like I was out there safe. Nobody was out there in no real danger because I knew my body. I knew that like Spider Man, with great power come great responsibilities. So I knew that I was breaking the law, and I knew I had other people's lives in my hands along with my own. So anytime that I felt tired, I didn't care what I had to do or what time limit I was on. I shut it down. I would always pull over, take me a nap. And if I couldn't just
Right,
jump up like that, I would go back to
right,
sleep. I would do another 30-minute nap because I valued other people. You know, again, I'm trying to chase the money, but I'm not trying to hurt nobody or hurt myself. So
right, right. You know, that's the way I was taking it. I take life too. I love me some me, so I'm gonna do everything in my power, you know, to make sure everything is good for me, and so I can make sure everything is good for everybody else because I don't want to hurt myself and I don't want to hurt no one else. And you know, just going through life, doing things, you're gonna be able to do that in time.
that's one thing I can say that I did learn from you too. Like, yeah, I got to work ethic. We gonna, work hard. But I also learned too that like if you can find an easy way and milk that
Yeah.
easy way, we got to do that too.
Every job that I get, I look for the easiest way to do it. You know, hey, the less is possible.
And
I wanna go to work with my hands real clean. I wanna come home the same way. I want them to be the same way when I come home, real clean. Like I ain't did nothing at all.
and that's how
Um,
like that's how I be looking at it. It's like, wait a minute, I've done too much work. Even with creating this content, it's like I don't want to work too hard creating. It's just like if it don't come easy or natural, it's like okay, that's I'm doing too much.
it got to be natural.
Yeah,
It got to be natural. You know, it can't be nothing uh, made up or stage you know, pre-planned. It just got to come. Got to come. That's why, you know, I want you to start doing some things. You know, you got to do something else to get your mind out off of off of things. So when we come to our platform, it'll be stuff that ideas, things that we could do things that we can make a difference that could help someone else. You know, your struggle was my struggle in my days. Now my struggle is your struggles right now.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm trying
cycle.
so it's like, yeah, well, my
Like,
son don't have these same struggles, but we could do
yeah,
something.
and,
Like now
and
he
that's
has.
what right, and that's what you're working towards, breaking the generational curse
What was the
from
worst
one
job you
generation
ever
to
had?
the next. Say that again.
What was the job you hated the most that you
Every
just
job I have. That's what you don't understand. That's what you think I like getting up, going to work. Every job I have, I hate. When I find one that I really love, I'm gonna let you know. But I haven't found that one yet.
All right, give me a time that you thought outside the box and were like, okay, well, cool. This might be the ticket that's like, okay, well, with the technology and with the info that you had back in your day, what hustle did you have come up with that made people think that called you crazy? Let me tell you my very first hustle that you called me crazy on. So my very first thing, my very first job. Again, I pay attention to things. My very first job was at McDonald's. I knew that 725 wasn't enough, and I'm 18. I had no responsibilities. I still stayed with you. I had no responsibilities. I should have not been thinking that this is not enough money. But my first thought when I got my first check was, I need to buy me a CD burner so I can make some more money. And the first thing that you said was, why would you do that? Why are you gonna spend your money on that? I'm like, because I need some more. Like back then, I really couldn't articulate why I need to do this other than just some more money. It's business. Next thing I
Hey,
know,
hey, and just like back then when you told me about the CD burner, that was that's how uneducated I was and how time was advancing from a CD burner to all the technologies that's coming on now. So it ain't no different from what it is. It's just that, y'all adapt and overcome. My generation, some of us just stuck in our ways, and it's hard to move a rock when you already in a place and played with cement on it.
and that's when and I finally moved you because I knew I had you when you started asking me to burn you CDs, and I'm like, yeah, remember when you told me not to get it?
The CDs, the moving, and a lot of things that you don't know. You and Ricky changed my mindset on stock.
Yeah,
Changed my mindset on working for myself. Changed my mindset on buying houses and stuff like that. Making
I
money
learned. I gotta pass it on.
without working. And that's what I'm trying to build for my great great grandchildren. Yeah,
Say,
that's what I'm trying to do.
you said I was crazy when I did the drive away too. Can't talk to them people like
Yeah, because hey, that was something that I didn't know how to drive away operate until until you and Ricky showed me the light. Hey, shit,
and then
I got out there.
again, like me, and that's why it's good too to bounce ideas off each other because my brother Ricky, he was doing it before me, but like again, my level of hatred when I came in it, I was like, nah, you're not controlling me. So that's what made me get multiple different companies. That's what really taught me. It was like, if you want to be free, you can't be locked into one spot. So it was like I had multiple different companies, so I can
Say
navigate
that say that one more time because I want you
multiple.
to
But
right. Yeah,
yeah, multiple.
multiple times.
Same thing I'm doing now. It's like this. You give somebody the power to feed you, you also give them the power to starve you. So I'm trying to create multiple plates. So if you take your plate away from me, I got a jelly sandwich coming through until I can get the steak that I want.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Wow, while you trying to get to where you want to go, you got to have all of those places that you could be eating off of, just in case I go to this place one day and then you say something to me out the way, even though I don't want to be there. Okay, here go your stuff. I ain't got to come back here. I still got some little place that I could eat off of till I get to where I need to be.
The
That's what
work
I'm
by
talking
force, the work by force and not by choice attitude. Like that's
about.
why.
That's it. That's it. You know, I didn't think of it that way, but with those multiple streams of income, that's how you got to go. That's how you got to navigate through life till you get to where you want to be. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that bike grind. I like them palm trees. See, that's where I got to get to where, I'd be at a job I like when I'm sitting right there where you sitting there and they got all kind of palm trees and I could just have me a drink and just be talking.
And,
Yeah.
and that's why I love technology because now it's the sense once you build it up, once you get the system going, you can create this content anywhere. I could be in Jamaica and we can all do a family trip to Jamaica and it's like okay, press record and then we all on the same screen. I've been to especially like with sports betting too. I've traveled to different states that I didn't have certain apps in my state. Now I'm signing up when I'm there to sports bet. So it's like that's why I love technology, social media now because now you can literally get paid. Stuff is easier than what it was before. Because like I went to
Oh,
school for I
whole
wanted
lot
to do
easier now.
I wanted to do music. I always wanted to do music, entertainment. Now you don't. Matter of fact, what we're doing right now is like me having a radio show, and we doing an interview, and we talking to each other. I'm in you in student loan debt too because of me, but like I'm in so much debt with student loans for some skills that we didn't even need no degree for. You just needed to have the technology, the hustle, and the ability to put yourself out there and not be afraid to fail. And that's where I'm at now. And I guess too is like with you doing it with me, I got somebody with me. So like, okay, cool. I've been knocking at this wall for a while now. I'm tired. So it's like now I got somebody that okay, cool. I see you taking swings with me. So it's like, okay, cool. I'm tired, but let me get up and take a few more swings. Or let me just take a little quick little breather and get me some Gatorade while you swinging. And I think for the most part, that's what I've been asking for. I have the vision, I have the creativity. I just need the team to like we can all the Wayans brothers. Like that's the best way. Like even if you don't want to be on camera or even on the entertainment side, it's still something that you anybody can offer to the team.
That's just like Ricky and his son,
Who?
the Reddings.
Yeah. It's like it's
That's
all
what
about
it is.
building something together. It's like
Right.
I feel like too, like that's what I think I really just wanted. Like, okay, cool, Russ, I see the vision. Yeah, it's not gonna happen overnight, but I'm here swinging at this fence to knock down this wall with you because I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a wall that I can't knock down on my own, and I'm reaching out and I'm saying, okay, look, I know that once we knock down this wall, financially we'll be in a spot where it's like, yeah, I'm still working, but now I'm in control. But I've looked over that wall. I seen what's behind that wall. I just couldn't cross over it in time. So like you say, everything is a timing thing. I couldn't jump. I couldn't cross over it.
And that's why I'm here now. I'm chiseling down that wall to where it ain't gonna be no wall. We're gonna be able to walk through. You're gonna be
Yeah,
able to walk through it and see things.
and I'm telling you,
See
on
everything.
the other side is some beautiful stuff.
You gonna be able to see your whole vision once we knock this wall down.
It's some beautiful
One
stuff on that
one
side of the
one
corner.
brick by brick. And it's funny we talking about brick by brick. I started out working in the brick
Yeah.
company. So we're gonna do it brick by brick. Yeah,
And
we
that's
got
kind
it.
of like too, like me building up this situation. Like I feel like again, like if we talking about building a house, if I'm taking one brick at a time and putting it over here and I'm building, I need some help. It's gonna take a long. That's my thing about timing is yeah. If I'm doing it by myself, it's always gonna be a slow process. But when you got a team moving it with you, that's what I've been trying to do, build up the team. If we got something and we all moving at that same pace, it's going to look how these houses getting built up quick because you got how many people working on them. But when it's
Yeah,
just
teamwork.
yeah, that's all that I'm trying to do on
Teamwork.
a different level than and I guess maybe I'm too extreme with it because I just feel like somebody got to have that sense of urgency. Somebody got to have that fire that like this way hasn't worked. So let me take what y'all got, mix it with what we got. Let's flip this thing and we can all do this. Like, and this is not just me and you. This is like um Alex, with her doing her she loves doing hair. When I see her doing hair, I'm looking at it like you actually love this. So like imagine if you was doing it on a level where okay, now I can get you clients just because people see me. They like, oh yeah, we know Russ. So oh, you his sister and you do hair? I want to get my hair done. You know, women be like, okay, well, let me get my hair done. Or men can be like, hey, your sister do hair, my girl need her hair done. It's just like that. It's all everybody
It's a
has a
network.
yeah,
It's a network.
yeah. Everybody got a talent that all of us can feed off of. Like we can all eat off of our individual collective talent. And that I think that's the thing that I'm just trying to get everybody to see. Is like I'm not crazy. Like I understand that we all gotta have a job, we all gotta work, but there's gotta be an easier way. And it's always a cheat code. So let's find it and let's get it together.
And we're gonna find that cheat code and we're gonna make it happen.
I like
Yeah,
that. This is a good first episode. We done talked for about an hour.
yeah,
We got one
yeah.
like
We good. We're gonna build on that one and we're gonna make it to 1 million.
yeah.
So let's
And
make it happen.
that's how I started out. When you first doing it, like and this has been my journey. When I first started doing these type of things, nobody watched and it kind of felt like I was talking to myself. But I kept doing it, I kept doing it. I got a little audience now, I got a little buzz. So for us to jump in and do this, we got a little buzz, a little momentum going just from the jump.
Hey, we build them brick by brick. Until the next time.
Are
Yeah.
we getting the bricks? Are we getting the bricks from Boro?
Or brick by brick.
We get a discount.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. Hey, we appreciate y'all watching. We're gonna keep doing this. If you got goals and you got dreams, keep grinding no matter what. Always bet on yourself. Well, that's how I usually end my normal. I gotta find a catchphrase so I can end this, but this is how I'm gonna end it for my end. Always bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself. And thank you for betting on Russ. And you got an outro?
In life, it's gonna be some challenging, but we're gonna always keep moving forward. I can't stop because I'm gonna keep moving forward. Until next time.
All right, y'all. We out.
Later.